It is only those who Almighty God has preserved free from the trouble and tribulations of the world. It is another beautiful Friday here today. Of course, thank God it's Friday, because Almighty God has preserved our souls to witness the 20th day in August 2021. And today, we are glad seeing not only the fact that we are also there watching us and of course following the Gallery TV. It's another time to review our news as published by Nigerian newspaper this morning, today, August 20th, 2021. My name is Babajide Ekundayo, and of course it is the Gallery TV newspaper review this morning. So let's go to what we have for you. Like you know that we will give you the papers that we have for you, then the headlines follows. Firstly, today we have the Punch with you, and of course after the Punch we'll be going through the pages of the Daily Sun. After that we'll be going through the Nigerian Tribune. We'll check what they have for us on The Nation, and of course we'll go to what the Guardian published today. And lastly, we'll be checking what Daily Independent has on the pages of their paper today. Of course, sit back and relax as we go through the Punch together. The front page of the Punch this morning, the major headline there says, PDP peace pact crumbles, Obasanjo secondos in closed-door meeting. Weakest group kicks as secondos plans October National Convention shift. Fresh neck meeting may hold. NWC members disagree over zoning panel. All these are captured by the Punch this morning, and it is written on the page 2 of the Punch this morning. Above the major headline of the Punch this morning, Buni battles 5 suits. 100 APC members seek removal. The full story is on the page 10. The Punch has it this morning. PIA, all firms etiquette, equities belongs to 3 tiers. FG assures state. The full story is also on the second page of the Punch this morning. Airport concession will fail. Legal tussle imminent. Labour. Get the full story as published by the Punch this morning, and you can get to enjoy it on the page 19 of the Punch today. Buhari approves 368 grazing sites in 25 states. The full story is on page 7. The Punch published it this morning. Naira sinks to 520 by US dollar as foreign reserves slides further. The full story is also captured today by the Punch. You can get it on page 19. So let's check below the major headline of the Punch this morning. Buhari's security strategy is working. He won't leave office a failure. NSA. The full story is captured by the Punch, and you can have it on page 11. 551 billion naira fraud. EFCC squeezes ex-Abia governor Oji son for 10 hours. Get the full story on page 11. Anger in Edo over Sultan of Shua Arabs planned installation. The full story is also captured on page 9. Hoodlums rob POS operators of 4 million. Bomb cops kill urban driver. The full story is on page 4, and you can get the balance on page 5 of the Punch this morning. Policemen detain enslaved ESN members' girlfriend. IG orders probe. The full story is on page 4, and you can get the balance of the story on page 5. Southwest kidnap victims pay 3 billion in 2 years. Gani Adams. Get the full story on page 8 of the Punch this morning. Unilorin student's mother. Suspects withdrew 50,000 from victim's account, says witness. The full story is captured by the Punch this morning, and you can get to satisfy your curiosity on page 4 as published by the Punch newspaper this morning. Let's go to what we have for you on the pages of Daily Sun. The major headline on Daily Sun this morning says, outrage over plan to turban Sultan of Shua Arab of Edo. Government kicks, says move sacrilegious threat to peace and security. The full story is also on page 27 of the Daily Sun this morning. Wike signs open grazing prohibition. VAT collection law. Get the full story on page 28. The Daily Sun published it this morning. EFCC stops ex-Abia governor T.A. Oji from traveling abroad. Anti-graft agency squeezes ex-governor's son. He was arrested. The commission spokesman, The full story is captured by Daily Sun this morning, and you can get to read it on page 28 of the Daily Sun this morning. Below the major headline of the Daily Sun this morning, Gani's son Mohammed died of COVID-19 related complications coming from the family. The full story is on page 29. PIA, Ijaw Youth spits fire, declared president, silver personnel non greater in Niger Delta. The full story is on page 8. Anambra Guba, PDP candidates missing as INEC releases list, fixes September 7 for final list. Okonkwo not afraid of opponents, ZLP. Get this story on page 9. Daily Sun has it this morning. Defend democracy. Atiku, Fayemi, others urge Nigerians. Restructuring will foster sense of nationhood. Ex-VP. We should focus on how to reinvent our nation. Ekiti Governor. All these stories are captured on the page 6 of Daily Sun this morning. Security. Buhari talks tough in meeting with service chiefs. Threatens to make more changes. Vows not to leave office a failure. All these are captured by the Daily Sun this morning, and you can have it on page 6 of the paper. PSC waits for a Abba report. Sets up in-house panel. Get this story on page 4 of the Daily Sun this morning. Let us proceed to what we have for you. Of course, when you get hold of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, these are the stories that you should look out for. Buhari moves to retrieve 368 grazing reserves in 25 states. Sets up committee to confirm status. To gazette ungazetted reserves. The full story is on page 2. The Nigerian Tribune has it this morning. Over 3 billion naira paid to kidnappers as ransom in Southwest. Gani Adams says 200 lives lost in 2 years to insecurity. The full story is on page 25 as captured by the Nigerian Tribune this morning. EFCC arrests ex-Abia Governor Orji at Abuja Airport. Son storms himself in. The full story is on page 25. Anambra 2021, INEC lists Soludo as AFGA candidate. Again, Imo Court declares Umelji AFGA candidate. All these are captured by on the page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. International oil companies owe NDDC over 4 billion US dollar. That's coming from Akpabio. The full story is on page 6. Nigeria's sprinting towards disaster. Atiku is on page 2. Police Commission set up panel to study report on Kyari. The full story is on page 4. Let's go to what we have below the major headline. Reps film over FG's borrowing of 5.62 trillion naira. The full story is on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Aftermath clash. Oyo local government chairman asks immigration officers to vacate office. The full story is on page 4. Osun World Congress panel may recommend reconciliation. Aregbesola factions appeal likely not successful. Get the full story on page 8 as published by the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Wike signs bill on VAT collection into law. The full story is on page 4. There will be no Sultan of Shua Arab in Edo. Government says planned coronation sacrilegious threats to peace. Get the full story on page 39 as captured by the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And lastly, on Nigerian Tribune, 4 die, 1,000 farmland, 200 houses destroyed as flood ravages through Niger local government areas. The full story is captured this morning by Nigerian Tribune, and you can get it on page 29 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's go to what we have for you on the major headline of the Nation this morning. The Nation this morning, today, 20th August 2021. Talking about insecurity. Buhari threatens removal of military chiefs. The full story is on the front page of the Nation this morning, and above the major headline of the Nation this morning. COVID-19 cases rise by 97% in 3 days. COVID-19 cases rise by 97% in 3 days. Fawey Sons a victim. President okay's review of grazing reserves in 25 states. Police arrest 889 crime suspects in Lagos. Get it on page 3. IOCs owing NDDC $4 billion US, says Niger Delta minister. The full story is captured this morning on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. PIA Frontier Basins Fund to cover Cross River, Anambra. The full story is on the front page of the Nation this morning. Banks Forest dealing under close EFCC watch. The full story is also on the front page of the Nation this morning. You can get the balance on page 4. Below the major headline of the Nation this morning, below the major headline of the Nation, Amotekun arrest underage herders, seizes 49 cows in Ondo. The full story is on page 27 of the Nation this morning. So let's proceed to what we have for you on The Guardian. On The Guardian this morning, the major headline says, Federal character, gender gap dog PIA as federal government inaugurates committee. NNPC to eliminate loss-making subsidiaries under new legislation. Niger Delta Ministry seeks control of 3% of host communities. PIA has shortchanged Cross River. Ayade cries out, host community deserves 5%. Obi, governors will work with PIA implementation committee. That's coming from Fayemi. All these stories are captured in the front page, on the front page of The Guardian this morning, and above the major headline of The Guardian this morning. Court rejects application to stop Kyari's arrest, extradition. The full story is covered on the focus page of The Guardian this morning, and you can get it on page 3. INEC lists Soludo despite court's affirmation of Umelji, Afghan faction. The full story is on page 3. The Guardian has it this morning. Water rights security as Buhari visits Adamawa today. The full story is on news page 5 of The Guardian newspaper this morning. Council chairman give immigration 24 hours to vacate Oyo. New page 7 of The Guardian newspaper published it today. I am not ready to leave office a failure, President tells service chief. The full story is on the front page of The Guardian this morning, and you can get to read the balance on page 6. Presidency mom on plans for surrendered terrorists says fighting among insurgents, surrender excites Buhari. The full story is on the front page of The Guardian this morning, and you can get to complete it on page 6 of The Guardian this morning. Wicked signs open grazing prohibition, VAT collection bill order into law. The full story is captured this morning on page 21 on the pages of The Guardian this morning. And lastly, on the Gallery TV newspaper review this morning, let us quickly go and see what we have on the Daily Independent this morning. The major headline on the Daily Independent this morning is saying, it's talking about Petroleum Act, Petroleum Industry Act, PIA, host communities 3% for project not sharing. Akpabio says forensic audit report ready, awaiting submission to Buhari. Insists section 1 to 4 of East-West Road must be completed in 2022. All these are captured by Daily Independent this morning, and you can get to satisfy your curiosity on the page 6 of the Daily Independent this morning. Above the major headline of the Daily Independent this morning, let's discuss our problem with international community. OBJ charges federal government, says unity of Nigeria more important than 2023 elections. Hosts private meeting with secondaries over Nigeria. The full story is on the front page of the Daily Independent this morning, and you can get a balance on page 6 of the Daily Independent this morning. Anambra Guba, INEC finally lists Soludo Obiora as party substitute candidate. The full story is also on page 30 as captured by Daily Independent this morning. And of course, below the major headline of Daily Independent this morning, insecurity, I don't want to leave office a failure. Buhari tells service chiefs. All paper carry this today. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is giving this strong warning to all service chiefs that he does not want to leave the office of the President as a failure. Also this morning, Daily Independent also published this story. You can have it on the front page of the Daily Independent, and of course across all other paper that we have given you today, from the Punch, from the Daily Sun, Nigerian Tribune, the Nation, and of course the Guardian. On page 7 of the Daily Independent this morning, Buhari OK's review of grazing reserves in 25 states. Wicked signs anti-open grazing bill, VAT collection into law. The page 7 of Daily Independent has the story. PSC awaits Abba Kyari's report. Set up in-house panel. The full story is also on page 6. 100 APC members drag party. Governor Buni AGF orders to court. The full story is on page 30. IATA raises alarm over airlines $1 billion blocked funds in Nigeria. Orders. The full story is also on page 30. And lastly, on the Gallery TV newspaper review this morning, EFCC grills former Abia Governor Orji, 2 sons. The full story is also on page 30. And of course, we won't be having this more than this on the Gallery TV newspaper review this morning. Do join us by 12 o'clock for another news update. And of course, join me by 2 o'clock on your darling indigenous program, Pepe Oro. I have a guest today, and I'll be bringing a pastor, Pastor Sam Babatokwe. He's going to be our guest today. And of course, we'll be discussing religious and prosperity, and of course, balancing our business and religions together. When it is 4 o'clock, we bring you another news update as it happens across the world. Please kindly follow us across our social media platform, on our Facebook, Instagram, and of course, on our website, Everything The Gallery TV. My name is Abajide Ekundayo. Do have a wonderful Friday. Thank you for listening to us, and bye for now.
News to all Lagos residents, especially owners of landed properties. Payment of land use charge has now been made easy through an online platform known as Lola. Lola is Lagos online assistance platform where payment of land use charge is possible through a WhatsApp only message on 0815-433-3883. This Lola platform, initiated by the Lagos State Ministry of Finance, will make the payment of land use charge possible anytime, any day, and anywhere, without any third-party involvement. For more information, please visit www.lola.ng or luc.lagosstate.gov.ng. Lola, the easiest way to pay your Lagos State land use charge. Always remember, Ìgbéga Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àjùmọ̀ṣe ni.